About Raquel Welch. Raquel Welch, Tejeda, September 5, 1940 to February 15, 2023, was an American actress. Welch first won attention for her role in Fantastic Voyage, 1966, after which she won a contract with 20th Century Fox. They lent her contract to the British studio Hammer Film Productions, for whom she made 1 million years BC, 1966. Although Welch had only 3 lines of dialogue in the film, images of her in the doeskin bikini became best-selling posters that turned her into an international sex symbol. She later starred in Bedazzled, 1967, Bandolero, 1968, 100 Rifles, 1969, Myra Breckenridge, 1970, and Hanny Calder, 1971. She made several television variety specials. Through her portrayal of strong female characters, which helped in her breaking the mold of the traditional sex symbol, Welch developed a unique film persona that made her an icon of the 1960s and 1970s. Her rise to stardom in the mid-1960s was partly credited with ending Hollywood's vigorous promotion of the blonde bombshell. She won a Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture Actress in a Musical or Comedy in 1974 for her performance in The Three Musketeers. She was also nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in Television Film for her performance in the film Right to Die, 1987. In 1995, Welch was chosen by Empire magazine as one of the 100 sexiest stars in film history. Playboy ranked Welch No. 3 on their 100 sexiest stars of the 20th century list. Early life. Welch was born Raquel Tejeda on September 5, 1940, in Chicago, Illinois. She was the first child of Armando Carlos Tejeda Urquizo and Josephine Sarah Hall. Her father, Armando Tejeda, was an aeronautical engineer from La Paz, Bolivia, son of Agustin Tejeda and Raquel Urquizo. In 2010, while she was being interviewed on the talk show Tava Smiley, Welch stated, "My father came from a country called Bolivia. He was of Spanish descent." Her cousin, Bolivian politician Lydia Guler Tejeda, became the first female president of Bolivia and the second female non-royal head of state in the Americas. Welch was named after her paternal grandmother. Her mother, Josephine Hall, was the daughter of architect Emery Stanford Hall and his wife Clara Louise Adams. She was of English ancestry. Welch had a younger brother, James Jim Tejeda, and a younger sister, Gail Tejeda. The family moved from Illinois to San Diego, California, when Welch was 2 years old. Welch attended the Pacific Beach Presbyterian Church every Sunday with her mother. As a young girl, Welch had the desire to be a performer and entertainer. She began studying ballet at age 7, but after 10 years of study, she left the art at 17 when her instructor told her she did not have the right body type for professional ballet companies. At age 14, she won beauty titles as Miss Photogenic and Miss Contour. While attending La Jolla High School, she won the title of Miss La Jolla and the title of Miss San Diego, the fairest of the fair, at the San Diego County Fair. This long line of beauty contests eventually led to the state title of Maid of California. Her parents divorced when she finished her school years. Welch graduated with honors from high school in 1958. Seeking an acting career, she entered San Diego State College on a theater arts scholarship, and the following year she married her high school sweetheart, James Welch. She won several parts in local theater productions. In 1959, she played the title role in the Ramona pageant, a yearly outdoor play at Hemet, California, which is based on the novel Ramona by Helen Hunt Jackson. In 1960, Welch got a job as a weather presenter at KFMB, a local San Diego television station. Because her family life and television duties were so demanding, she decided to give up her drama classes. After her separation from James Welch, she moved with her 2 children to Dallas, Texas, where she made a precarious living as a model for Neiman Marcus and as a cocktail waitress. Film. She was due to star in a 1982 adaptation of John Steinbeck's Cannery Row, but was abruptly fired by the producers a few weeks into production. The studio claimed she was not living up to her contract, by refusing early morning rehearsals, and was replaced with Deborah Winger. Welch sued MGM for breach of contract. Studio executives claimed in testimony the reason Welch was following through with the trial was that she was an actress over 40 and generally actresses in that age range cannot get roles anymore. Welch's evidence at trial proved there was a conspiracy to falsely blame her for the film's budget problems and delays. The jury sided with Welch and she won a $10.8 million verdict against MGM in 1986. Despite the win, Welch wished the whole episode never had happened. "I just wanted to clear my reputation and get back to my work in movies," she said. But she was blackballed by the industry, and the incident affected her film career on the big screen from that moment on. In 1994, she had a cameo appearance in Naked Gun 33, The Final Insult, in the scene where Leslie Nielsen's character crashes the Academy Awards. In 2001, she had supporting roles in the comedy films Legally Blonde opposite Reese Witherspoon and Tortilla Soup. Her next film was Forget About It, 2006. She played a single billionaire grandmother in the romantic comedy How to Be a Latin Lover, 2017. Stage. In December 1972, Welch made her nightclub debut at the Las Vegas Hilton. Her act preceded Elvis Presley's. Over the following decade, she took her nightclub act to other venues, and starred in television specials featuring her singing and dancing. In December 1981, Welch starred on Broadway in Woman of the Year for 2 weeks, filling in for Lauren Bacall in the title role while Bacall was on vacation. Critics were so enthusiastic about Welch's performance, she was invited back to perform the role again for 6 months in 1982. Welch in 2000. In 1997, Welch starred on Broadway in Victor/Victoria, following Julie Andrews and Liza Minnelli in the title role. Theater critic Jamie Portman wrote that her glamour made Welch scarcely believable as the vulnerable Victoria and totally unbelievable as the swaggering tuxedoed Victor. But that she at least earns high marks for valor for attempting to breathe life into the misbegotten musical version of Victor/Victoria. Achievements and awards. In 1974, Welch won a Golden Globe Award for Best Motion Picture Actress in a Musical or Comedy for The Three Musketeers. She was also nominated for a Golden Globe Award for her performance in the television drama Right to Die, 1987. In 1994, Welch received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame at 7021 Hollywood Boulevard. In 2001, she was awarded the Imogen Foundation Lifetime Achievement Award for her positive promotion of Americans of Latin heritage throughout her career. In 2012, the Film Society of Lincoln Center presented a special retrospective of the films of Welch at the Walter Reed Theater. Beauty and Business Career. The Raquel Welch Total Beauty and Fitness Program book and videos were first released in 1984. The book, written by Welch with photographs by Andre Weinfeld, includes a Hatha Yoga fitness program, her views on healthy living and nutrition, as well as beauty and personal style. The multi-platinum collection of fitness and yoga videos were produced and directed by Andre Weinfeld. As a businesswoman, Welch succeeded with her signature line of wigs. She also began a jewelry and skincare line, although neither of those ventures compared to the success of her wig collection HAIRUWEAR. In January 2007, Welch was selected as the newest face of MAC Cosmetics Beauty Icon series. Her line features several limited edition makeup shades in glossy black and tiger print packaging. The tiger print motif of the collection celebrates Welch's feline and sensuous image, strong and wild, yet sultry and exotic. Personal life. Marriages and relationships. Welch married her high school sweetheart, James Welch, on May 8, 1959, with whom she had 2 children, Damon Welch, born November 6, 1959, and Lawton Tawny Welch, born December 26, 1961. James and Raquel Welch separated in 1962 and divorced in 1964. She retained Welch's last name until her death. She married producer Patrick Curtis in 1967, and divorced him in 1972. During the shooting of the film 100 Rifles in Spain in 1968, Welch had an extramarital affair with Spanish actor Sancho Gracia, who had a small role in the film. Welch's husband, upon finding out about the affair, chased Gracia at gunpoint through the hotel where they were staying in Agua Dulce. Welch also had an affair with another Spanish actor, Aldo Sambrell, during the shooting. Welch during an appearance for Saturday Night Live in 1976. Welch in 1976. In 1980, she married producer Andre Weinfeld, divorcing him in 1990. Welch wed Richard Palmer, owner of Mulberry Street Pizzeria, in 1999 but then separated from him in 2003 and later divorced. Welch said she would not remarry. Public image. While her image in the 1960s was that of a torrid sex temptress, Welch's private life was quite different. Welch once famously said, "What I do on the screen is not to be equated with what I do in my private life. Privately, I am understated and dislike any hoopla." She also admitted, "I was not brought up to be a sex symbol, nor is it in my nature to be one. The fact that I became one is probably the loveliest, most glamorous, and fortunate misunderstanding. Welch posed for Playboy in 1979, but she never did a fully nude shoot. Hugh Hefner later wrote, Raquel Welch, one of the last of the classic sex symbols, came from the era when you could be considered the sexiest woman in the world without taking your clothes off. She declined to do complete nudity, and I yielded gracefully. The pictures prove her point. Welch refused to take all her clothes off on screen or pose naked throughout her career spanning 5 decades, saying this was the way she was brought up. Her daughter Tawny also appeared on the cover of Playboy in the November 1995 issue and a nude pictorial inside it. Political views. In 2014, during an appearance on The O'Reilly Factor, Welch described herself as being on the conservative side, attributing it to her mother's Midwestern values. During the Vietnam War, Welch showed her support for the troops at United Service Organizations, USO, shows often appearing with Bob Hope. Death. Welch died on February 15, 2023, at her home in Los Angeles, following a brief illness. She was 82. Legacy. Welch helped transform America's feminine ideal into its current state. Her beautiful looks and eroticism made her the definitive 1960s and 1970s sex icon, rather than the blonde bombshell of the late 1950s as typified by Marilyn Monroe, Jane Mansfield, and others. Welch became a star in the mid-1960s and was exotic, brunette, and smolderingly sexual. Her countless publicity photos helped to popularize her image, dress style, and 1960s and 1970s fashion trends. Welch and other actresses also made big hair popular.